and everything. Okay. Let's understand the installation part, the Postgre installation part. So when we were talking about the installation, we have also talked about the automation part, right? Because that is another thing which everyone should understand clearly without any uh, doubt or question. Okay. So we have all these platforms available. So let's suppose I want to install or I want to configure any services. What I do normally, what is the common thing that we do? What are the possible thing or the possible ways we use? Anyone? If I want to create a database on AWS cloud, what I do? Either I can use RDS or VM, right? I go and do it by which steps?
We can
Manual
create a
step, right?
EC2
This is
and
very
then
EC2 with
famous, right?
RDS
Everyone
launching.
goes. Uh, can I? You can hear me, right? Everyone?
yes.
Yes, Abhishek.
Can you try to speak? Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
I think something happened with my headphone again. 1 second. Hear me now? I'm
Yes.
audible. Yeah. Okay. So when we have to create anything on cloud, we have or we have to install anything, configure anything, implement anything, we have few options, right? First is manual step. Another one is which one? Which step we use to configure things or services? This is very important. What are the other way?
We can use cloud code as a service like automation by using Terraform, CloudFormation,
Terraform, cloud formation. Okay,
Ansible.
Ansible. Okay. So from today onwards, we are going to talk about few concepts which is going to be across my class. We are going to talk about all these things again and again. So let's understand those things also very clearly. Okay. So the first thing is we are configuring all these things. The first option is we are using manual way where we are logging into their graphical user interface and we are creating it. Another way, we are using some third party tools or cloud specific tools to implement or install or configure the services. So what are the first option that everyone is using? The first option from the automation.
Terraform.
Okay, very good. Terraform. So basically we are writing Terraform scripts and these scripts are getting executed on the cloud service providers platform and my infrastructure is getting ready. What is the second option which
If
is
you are
getting
on
popular? Mhm.
AWS, it is CloudFormation.
Very good. AWS cloud formation. So AWS cloud formation is nothing but a XML based automation system where we are just writing the XML and executing it and AWS will create your infrastructure. Same like our Docker Compose. Clear? Right? What are the third option? We can create our shell scripts or Python scripts.
Yes.
Question, can my cell directly talk to AWS? Anyone?
No, no.
No. So what I have to put in between?
There is a SDK. You have to set up the something a platform.
Very good. So there are three ways to communicate with your cloud infrastructure. That's why I brought this topic because I'm going to talk about all these things very much and you people should not get confused. So under the automation, again, we have two forms, CLI or API. So what is CLI? Let's suppose I want to configure AWS infrastructure and I want to use their command line interface. So what I do AWS CLI commands. And when I run AWS CLI commands, by default, what happens? Whatever command I'm going to use, that particular command, using that command, I can create the infrastructure on AWS. In the same way, we have Azure CLI also. Okay, Azure CLI is also command line interface. Using that, what we do whenever we run these commands, the infrastructure will get created on the Azure cloud. Also, we have GCP CLI, which they call as a G Cloud CLI. So using these CLI commands, I can just run the CLI, and what will happen? These related to that CLI command, the execution will happen on GCP cloud. Okay. So tell me one thing. Uh, uh, why we should bother about automation? Why we are talking about all these things? What is so important? Any point?
Yeah.
Because
So
I,
if
yeah,
yeah, Rohit, go ahead, please.
so please you go ahead.
Okay, so if like we have multiple infrastructure to operate, right? Suppose if you want to spawn around 100 servers,
Hmm?
so doing it manually is impossible.
Hmm?
And it is not impossible, it will take lots of time.
Lot of time.
So to, yeah, actually to reduce the time and effort and remove the repeated work, right? We can use automation in that case.
Correct. And automation is also used when we have to sometimes we have to create the infrastructure either on multiple clouds. Okay, sometimes it happens that we are creating the services on 2 or 3 clouds. Okay, now as we are in the class, uh, which particular tool we should use? Okay, and how we are going to do all these things. So in my class, I'm going to give you some idea about AWS CLI. In the next class, practically, I will show you how you can use AWS CLI and create database. You can use your infrastructure. I will give you a little bit idea about Python Boto 3, because Python Boto 3, according to me, is very important when you have you want to do a lot of reporting on your AWS server or Azure server. When I say reporting, mean to say today, is there any way I can get a report where how many RDS instances are configured in my account, how many are started, how many are down? Can we do that in a single report? Is there any option? We have option, but it is related to graphical user interface. Let's suppose I want to automate it. Someone is asking, just tell me how many Postgre I have, how many MySQL server is running on my cloud, what is the version of MySQL server and all. So using Python Boto 3 libraries, we can easily get all these details. I will practically show you in the next class, all those things. Second thing, if you really want to grow and understand all these automations specific to cloud automations, try to learn the Terraform. Okay. And OpenTofu is the open source version of Terraform. Okay, so what happened gradually, gradually after Terraform, OpenTofu is also getting popularity. So this is the tool which I am talking about. This is a tool where we are just writing the scripts and we are executing it on the cloud service providers. So Terraform is a utility or English like script, very easy to learn. Don't A lot of DBAs are, I know they don't want to run the or write the code, but trust me, Terraform is very easy. You can easily write any kind of script and all. And once you understand the Terraform, by default, you can also work on OpenTofu. So OpenTofu is the open source version of Terraform. Okay, and it is very, very, very easy. Okay, so you have to use OpenTofu if you want to use, and both the codes are same. Okay, and second thing, try to learn about Python Boto 3 libraries. It is important because if you want to do a lot of automations, Python is another option. Let's suppose you say that I don't want to do Python Boto or Terraform, then you can use shell scripts also. So how you will use the shell script? You can use the shell scripts using AWS CLI commands. So basically, under your shell script, you can write AWS CLI commands. Also, you can write Azure CLI commands, and you can write your automations. Is that fine? At least you are understanding this. And my focus is going to be on Terraform, Python Boto, and I will show you one AWS CLI shell script also. Okay, just to execute and show you how it works. Is this clear at least? These points? Just high level. I don't want you to go to the very depth and all. It is my task. I will take you to the depth slowly, slowly. But at least these things are clear. Can I talk about the next topic?
Yes.
Yes.
So OpenTofu and Terraform is just a scripting thing. What is CI/CD? Why should I bother about CI/CD? And when we are talking about cloud, how come CI/CD is coming into the picture? How it is interrelated? Why should I bother about CI/CD in automation of cloud? What is so important here? Anyone? Why should I bother about CI/CD? First of all, everyone understands CI/CD. Can you hear me? Hello.
Yes,
Yes,
Avanish.
yes.
Yeah, continuous
You're
So
integration
audible.
and
Yes.
continuous deployment.
continuous integration and continuous deployment. But how it is interrelated with database administration and cloud? Why we should bother about it? Why we should learn about it? Can someone try to explain?
We in most of the DB activity will be doing
Mhm,
the code review and the
mhm,
DML review and
mhm,
all those some best
mhm,
practices, the table without
mhm,
primary key, all those
mhm,
few basic things
mhm,
will be validated
mhm,
through the CI/CD and then it's been deployed.
mhm.
And
Okay.
maintain the versioning, that
Mhm.
is secondary thing.
Second. Okay.
Uh,
So basically to deploy the code from one environment to another environment, we are using CI/CD. Uh, how it is related to cloud infrastructure, this topic? Anyone want to try? Okay. So let me tell you. I think in the beginning of the this topic, someone said we have to create infrastructure multiple times with the multiple options and all. So what happens in the real-time companies, in the big companies, the cloud implementation is also getting associated with your CI/CD pipelines. Okay. For example, this is very advanced example. Every Monday, I have to create a MySQL database or Postgre database. Okay. Uh, let me do like this, so it will make more sense. Uh, so let's suppose I want to use AWS Kubernetes service, and it is going to cost me $200. Okay, and I need data only on Monday. This is the real-time interview question scenario asked in one of the biggest company. I want to implement a AWS Kubernetes service which is costing me $200, I need this Kubernetes service only on Monday to run some reports. Monday, I need this Kubernetes service basically on Monday only to just do some reporting work. Once my reports are generated in XML format or CSV format or Excel format, I don't need this cluster. Mean to say Tuesday to Sunday, I don't need this cluster, but only on Monday, due to some XYZ need, I I have to populate a report and which can done only on the this environment. How I can do this? Because I want to save $200. I don't want to up and running this setup entirely till Tuesday and Sunday. I need only on Monday. It's a real-time scenario, real-time question asked in one of the interview. Can someone try to answer how we can achieve this? First, you can tell me the manual way, and then we can talk about the automation way.
So in AWS, we can use Terraform, Lambda functions.
Mhm.
Whenever we require it, we can invoke it and then send the report, do the processing, and then stop it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically Python Lambda or any Lambda. Okay, I'll say Lambda.
Python Lambda, like,
Okay.
yeah.
Anyone else? Please try to give me the solution, because from in this class, I think we have initially discussed that this is going to be a class for solution architecting also, designing also. Because if you don't think in this direction, you will not able to get idea or advanced concepts, how we manage the database, how we manage the infrastructure, how we can achieve this. Anyone else? I'm fine. If you give the wrong answer also, I'm fine, but at least speak up. Tell me something like how we can do this. Let's suppose we all are a solution architect for Google and we have to achieve this.
First one is the Lambda, that's AWS Lambda. I'm
Mhm,
not aware of the Python Lambda,
mhm,
but there is a feature in AWS Lambda service
mhm,
there. Second is the something you go for the open source,
mhm.
something which is the whatever the open source. AWS Lambda is a paid one. So second is the open source. You have to go for the open source platform to achieve this.
Okay. Open source, what I will do? Or like any idea, or you are not aware of it?
Not aware of that.
Mhm,
We are doing by AWS Lambda. So
Lambda.
there's a
Okay.
costing of Lambda.
Okay.
So we are
Okay.
facing that issue. So second,
Okay.
what will be the open source? That is in the something
Mm,
discussion point of.
okay. Anyone else? Let's suppose the traditional DBS, how we need a database every Monday, and Monday to Friday, I don't need this database. Traditional DBS, how we will do? Let's suppose traditionally how we will handle it. Let's suppose it's
Traditionally,
not a AWS. Yeah.
traditionally we'll just stop it, the server manually, and then
Mhm,
switch it on whenever required.
mm, mm,
So this way we can do it, or we can configure a cron. Basically,
mm.
using a cron tab, we can fire these. Like if we are hosted, self-hosted, right? We can say service. The cron will connect to the server and start the service for that particular time. When work is done, it will again stop it.
Very good.
So yeah.
Mm. Anyone else want to try? Because I want everyone to speak from here onwards. Otherwise, it will be, only one or two people are speaking. Dhirender, any idea? You need a MySQL server every Monday. Tuesday to Sunday, I don't need that MySQL server. Okay. So let me give you some other options also. So what I'm going to do, if it is a open source, uh, we will going to talk about multiple things. Number one, open source way. I don't want to spend any money. Okay, I just want to use open source tool. Simply, I will install Jenkins. Under the Jenkins, I will write Python script, shell script. My shell script is going to contain AWS CLI command. My AWS CLI command and everything is going to integrate it with my shell script. My shell script is going to remotely connect over the internet, it will connect to my AWS account. Under my AWS account, it will just go and create one RDS instance. Once my, this is under the Jenkins, this is my create pipeline. Create pipeline. In the same Jenkins, I will create one delete pipeline also, which will do just opposite of this particular action. It will go and connect to RDS and it will destroy my infrastructure. It will take the snapshot and it will destroy the infrastructure. Okay. Make sense? Like this, we can create. I'm going to show you practically all these things. We will create it. I will show you all these kind of things. Okay. Any other option? In place of Python or shell script, we can also use Terraform scripts, or we can use CloudFormation. Okay. So like this, we can write our own automations. Is this clear at least high level? The implementation using CI/CD pipelines. Can we done this? Hypothetically, do you understand this?
Yes.
This
Tell me
is the
one thing.
best way.
Mhm.
It's the best way to achieve this.
No, this is not the best way. This is just a option one.
Okay.
Okay, because here a lot of problems might arise. This is not the best way. How many of you
Okay.
understand idempotency? Idempotency.
Is it
No.
like when we run the script, we
Mhm.
can once we achieve some state,
Mhm.
and after that some steps may get fail, then we
Mhm.
again run that script. So the state we already achieved, I think it will not touch that, and the remaining one it will create, I think.
Very good. So basically, these kind of models are good, but controlling them will be little bit difficult. So, and these models are not very, I would say they will not be, they are good for the level one, but if you want to make it more mature and or more error prone, uh, to avoid the errors and all, we have to use different things. Let's suppose in the place of AWS CLI, I'm planning, I will under the Terraform, I will also use Ansible for my configuration, because Ansible is idempotent software or application which understand the state of my infrastructure. Let's suppose my RDS is already up and running. So it will automatically understand I should not execute the script because RDS is already built, right? Until unless I'm not changing any parameter, my execution won't happen. So it will not create the outage. So this is just version one, it's good, but there are a lot of other concepts that I have to do. Okay. Second thing, in case if I want to make it more reliable or something, I'm going to put my scripts on GitLab or GitHub. Okay, so my entire script is getting controlled by Git. And whenever I am doing any changes on Git, Git will automatically execute this particular execution part. So Jenkins will get replaced by Git action in the real time scenario. If you really want to achieve like the professional one without any issue. So the moment I will do any git code changes, by default my job will get trigger and it will execute the things, or based on my need I will execute my job, something like that. So basically these are nothing but pipelines, right? Execution pipeline, first one the create pipeline, another one was delete pipeline. So that's what I was trying to refer here when I say CI/CD. Okay, so we have to understand about CI/CD and everything. What we are going to do, we are going to do a small practicals of all these things one by one in the next session. I will practically show you how to use AWS CLI, how to use Python script and all those things, and execute it on your cloud service provider. Okay, so that at least you will understand these kind of thing, how they work, how the real time things are happening, and how we can write our automations. Okay, nothing to worry about. Don't worry. We have chat gpt, we have lot of other options. We can write our scripts nowadays. You no need to write any code. Okay, because I know a lot of dbas are worried about it. They must be thinking again I have to write the code, but trust me, code write part is very less. I will explain you everything, and we can write everything step by step. Okay. So at least CI/CD is clear with this example. Small pipeline I have just built. Is this clear? How we will implement it? At least in the high level, how we can write a implementation, or how we can create a CI/CD pipeline to implement something. Is that clear? Clear?
Yes,
Can you hear
yes,
me?
yes.
Can I ask one interview question also here meanwhile, so that you people can understand like how we can write the automation, or how we can do the deployments. Let's suppose on EC2, or let's suppose I have a VM, okay, virtual machine, where all my softwares are installed. Let's suppose app is installed, database is installed, and my all the configurations are there, and everything is ready. Let's suppose this is my Vagrant VM, everything is ready, and I want to achieve the same kind of configuration again and again every time. How I can do that? How I can create these kind of pipelines? Let's suppose you have Vagrant and you have Jenkins, for example. Can we achieve that? Can we create a pipeline?
Like I'm not aware
Yeah,
of
I
how
think
we can achieve with Jenkins,
Mm-hmm.
but like taking a snapshot of that particular stack, right? We can create the
Mm-hmm.
multiple instances. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you have a snapshot of the entire stack, the tech stack which we have,
Mm-hmm.
one way is that we can do it. Yeah.
Okay. Let's build a small pipeline on the go. Okay. So that I will explain you what I'm trying to achieve here. If how many minutes we have to remaining? 20 minutes, right? Okay, so whatever we can do, we will do now, and remaining we will do it on the next class. So basically, this class was all about the infrastructure automate, how to install the Postgre on a different systems. Also, to talk about the automation part. And here, our main agenda was to understand the concept of platforms, automation, and everything. And first, I think VM Postgre installation and VM is already done, right? I think we have did by automation, right? Everyone agree, right? We did on that. OS also, I think it's not required. VM is done, it means OS is also done, similar like that. Container, I think we have already done the Postgre installation on container. Kubernetes, we will do it in a little later, at least after 2 months, when we will learn about Kubernetes and all. Cloud and automation, I will show you in the next class, how to install the Postgre on cloud. I will show you on AWS. If you people want me to show you on Azure also, I will show that. And also, let's do one small practice about this CI/CD or automation also, so that you understand that how these kind of things are happening and how to configure it. Okay. I will send you the documentation also. Documentation is ready for that. So I will show you this also. I think we have 20 minutes. So I'll try to show you in 20 minutes. Whatever is remaining, we will carry on the next class. But before that, one small concept that also is important, which brought my attention: database automation. How normally we do database automation? How we automate the database related stuff?
Shell scripts.
Shell
shell
scripts.
script.
Any other way?
In MySQL we have events. Using the events we can like actually automate
Hmm?
most of the things. The events can call the stored procedures or functions or triggers which by
Mhm.
which we can execute the codes.
Okay. Any tool that you know which can be used to automate
No,
the end to end? Because
no.
the one which you are talking, it definitely it is there. But for that we have to write all the software, write all the code. But let me tell you another modern way of managing database automation. Okay, because database automation is our main agenda here. How big companies are managing their database related changes. The first thing is, again, either they are writing their code or they are using third party softwares. Okay, code means what kind of category falls under code? First one is they are writing Python, Go, or shell scripts, as you mentioned. Second thing, they are using their own internal custom method to deploy the code. Let's suppose they go to the prompt, they write the script, something like that. But these code and other things are little lengthy and complex to manage, because everything we have to write, everything I have to execute. What is the other option? On the fly, how I can manage all these changes? Okay. So for that, we in the market, we have some third party softwares like Liquibase. Okay. So how many of you know this one, Liquibase? Anyone worked on this? Let's suppose I have 10,000 servers and I have 10,000 databases running. And at a stretch, I want to run create table on 10,000 databases, or I want to deploy a script on all my 10,000 servers. Or let's suppose I am a Google kind of company. My databases are in Japan, US, India, Malaysia, Singapore. I have 22 countries where my databases are running, and I want to write a automation where in a day or in the batches, I want to push my changes. Can we do it using our own way? Yes, we can do that, but we have to write a lot of code. How to handle these kind of databases changes? For those kind of things, we are using third party softwares like Liquibase. Anyone used it? Liquibase? Any idea? What is this?
Hearing for the first time.
That's why I'm modernizing your knowledge, that from today onwards you have to go and read about Liquibase, because Liquibase is going to be a very important automation software related to your database. Okay, like that we have other softwares also available in the market like Flyway. Because see, a big company can hire multiple database engineers, but a startup and small company can hire 10-15 people, 10-15 database engineers. Practically not possible. So how they are achieving their infrastructure, how they are achieving their database changes? So they are achieving all these things using these kind of softwares. And if you're targeting for a big company, big role or big salary, you have to start understanding these kind of tools to manage the database. Okay, so here, this is the tool. I have to simply go and write certain commands, and I have to just execute it on the Flyway, and my changes are done. Boom, 5-10 minutes, my changes are deployed. Also, these tools are idempotent. Do you understand that? It means once execution is done, they understand that execution is done. They will not run it again and again. Okay. In the same way, we have software called bytecode. Sorry, Bytebase, if I remember correctly, Bytebase. So Bytebase is again a software or utility. Using that, you are deploying the database changes from one place to another place. Make sense? First of all, are you understanding this? What I'm trying to tell you here? Third party software for database automation. Everyone,
Yes.
because this is very important. If you're not
Yes.
understanding, stop me. We can have a great discussion here.
One question on
Everyone.
third-party software,
Mm-hmm,
Abhishek.
mm-hmm,
So suppose you named multiple
mm-hmm,
softwares, but suppose we have I have a database in RDS or
mm-hmm,
Aurora. Okay,
mm-hmm,
so mostly we host a database in the private subnet. We don't
mm-hmm.
keep it public, right? So how will this third-party software connect to the database use in RDS or Aurora?
Very good question. So let me draw a architecture for you. Under the AWS, you have two networks. Let's suppose you have public network and you have private network. Okay. Normally, all our databases are running on private network. Okay. Public network can only communicate with the private network based on certain port or security group or encrypted pathway. Okay. So for these kind of execution, we will create a box called Passion host. Okay. So this Bashan host is nothing but a box which is sitting in between. Okay, this one. So which is sitting in between of your public network and private network. So all this particular Bashan host have access to your private network. So your software is going to sit here, third party software. This is option one. Option two, if your third party software is providing you any kind of API interface, you can directly execute from any of the API to your private interface. Okay. These APIs will execute over the keys. Basically, you have to apply a SSL key or something, and using that you can execute the APIs, and this APIs is going to execute on your database. For a plain database administrator, this is the best choice. They can simply install a Bashan host and they can control their changes from the Bashan host directly. Let's suppose you are not on AWS, you are on your own data center. Okay. So these softwares can be installed nearby your databases, mean to say in the same subnet or same network of your databases, and you can change it. Make sense? Is
Yeah.
this answered your question?
Yes.
So there are certain softwares available, like I have mentioned, Bicebase, Bytebase, like that we have SQL Itch. I'm knowingly telling you all these software so that you can go and research about it, at least do one implementation also. Okay. If time permits, I will show you at least one implementation, how to do the database automation using these kind of tool, because this is going to change the way you are handling your database. DBMate is also there. You can use DBMate. Okay. Also, let's suppose you don't want to do all these things using third party tool. Let's suppose your company is a bank, your company is some financial institute, they are managing a lot of secure information or something. So if you want to develop your own database migration pipeline or something, you can also use Python Fabric. The entire Instagram is running on Python Fabric. So Instagram database related changes happens there using their own code developed with Python Fabric. Okay. You can try Python Fabric also. Python Fabric is very easy. It is like shell script. You can write your own script and you can handle your database changes. But this software is not idempotent. So make sure whenever you are writing your code, you have to be sure about that. Is that clear? Whatever I have just talking about, all these tools, everyone, are we clear? Is this clear? Because if it is not clear, we can have more discussion. Yeah, tell me, Vikas.
Yeah. So as of now, we also support on a multiple, databases,
Mhm.
but I don't see these kind of tools frequently, I think.
Mhm, mhm,
The tools you have mentioned, Liquibase and other stuff. But
mhm.
are these tools uh, are used frequently uh, in market, or this is something new coming up in the market?
See, the first thing, these tools are used in an environment where first thing is like where they don't want to hire multiple people and their infrastructure is very big. Can you see here? IBM Watson is also using, Ticketmaster is using. So all these big companies are using these kind of tools. So answering to your question, even how big is your infrastructure basically, like in terms of servers and all?
That 200 servers.
200 servers, and frequently you are doing database related changes.
So
So
usually the database related changes like
mhm,
DDL, DML, or
mhm.
what?
anything you are changing to the database.
Yeah.
So
So let's suppose
mhm,
the request comes like user creation
mhm,
or some DDL or DML changes. So
mhm.
the developer usually they take the downtime and they do the alteration part.
Alteration part.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, but you said let's suppose we have thousands of servers and we want to push some changes to all the servers. So my question is, are we get any kind of scenario where we have to push all the changes in all the database,
Correct.
as
Yes.
usually we keep the database isolated from each other so that so
Mhm,
I got a bit confused whether in real time most of the because I don't see most of the client even
mhm,
know this stuff. When the developer don't know whether this is exist or not, or they kind of do manually. They kind of create scripts and give one SQL file and ask TB to run this command in the database post business hours, like that.
mhm. Basically, two things are here. First thing is uh, the modern infrastructure. All the modern infrastructures are automating their database changes. And in which scenario, you ask like which scenario we are going to use these kind of things. You see, you have seen the big billion day, right? Amazon, right?
Yes, yes.
You see a big billion day. In the big billion day, in the Amazon website, they put a banner, big billion day banner, right? Big billion day discount, 20%
Mhm.
discount or something and something. Okay. Basically, this image is coming from where? It is coming from some database, right? The metadata of this particular banner or something is coming from database, right? The 20% discount or something, right? So let's suppose Amazon is running on multiple region. Let's suppose it is running on US, it is running on India, it is running on Japan. And this Amazon.com is getting supported by multiple databases. Let's suppose 2000 databases. Okay. It's a we have 2000 databases and we whenever I have to run these kind of offers with 20% discount and all, I have to update my database that all the order which is coming from US, India and Japan should get 20% discount. Okay. I'm just giving a business case, direct business case. And to implement this 20% discount, I have to change my database logic also. Under the database, I have procedures, functions, and some store procedure, which is uh, holding my database related logic, 20% discount related logic. Suddenly, I have to implement this 20% within a, let's suppose, big billion days starting from tomorrow. And today night, midnight, I want to apply this offer. How I'll do that in 2000 servers? Practically not possible, right? I can't run. I will go to the, I will log into the SQL prompt and just do source or at the rate script name, and I'm not going to do it 200 times, right? 2000 times,
Correct,
not possible.
correct.
So for that,
Uh,
now my automation will come into the picture. If everyone is understood this business requirement here, first of all, what I have to do? So my automation will come into the picture, CI/CD pipeline, which will trigger to my flyway script. My flyway script is going to based on my configuration, what I'm feeding to my flyway script. My flyway script is going to connect to these 2000 servers, and within a few minutes and all, it will be ready. And after midnight, this offer will be released to my Amazon website. For this kind of scenario, database automations are very important. And trust me, here, nothing has been done by hands or keyboard or mouse. Everything is automated. Only developer has to go and just push their code change. And my automation will automatically understand which particular database has to be changed. Using Flyway, it is done. Make sense? Is it answering your question? Rohit? Yeah? Can you hear me?
Abhishek, you have you have given different options database automation, but which tool is the first one to pick? Which one? Because there are multiple tools in the market. So which one you will suggest, and a small case that can be picked by you that can be
If I want to pick, I will use only two tools, Liquibase and Flyway.
okay.
And third number, Bytebase. Because Liquibase in the market from long time, their documentation is very good. They provide a lot of support, and Flyway is also going very good in the market. Very soon, I think Flyway is going to take over the market.
In terms
And
of integration with
in
AWS
terms of
RDS,
integration, AWS RDS on premises, my first preference is Liquibase and then Flyway.
okay.
Yeah, and can you see they are supporting multiple databases like that. So if you want to go to the next level, now we have to think from this direction. Is this meaningful? Whatever I was talking about? Everyone was aware about these database automation concepts like tools or third party? Everyone? This is exciting, right? To know about all these tools, where we can automate the database related things, we can handle the big environment. So now tell me, if you know all these tools, if you know how to configure it, definitely you will give more value to your company, right? So that's why I'm teaching you all these things. You should at least understand these kind of technologies. You should understand these kind of integrations so that in future you can write your own automations, database related automations. Okay, make sense, everyone?
Yeah. So all the tools you have mentioned, so all are open source or a paid one or a enterprise?
It depends on the tool. Liquibase, I think some of the things are open source. You can use it. And some of the features are paid actually. So in their product category, if you go, you will see that some of the things are paid, some of the things are, but the basic thing for the basic automation, both the tools are giving you open source version. So which you can achieve it. So that's why I
Okay.
was trying to give you these options. Using that, you can write your own automations. In the next class, we are going to do practically all these things. I am not planning to cover this Liquibase and all, but if time permits, I will show you one Flyway or Liquibase execution. Okay, not in this class. In future, we can just when we are talking about CI/CD in detail, right? We will just create a pipeline. Okay. In the next class, I will show you one Jenkins pipeline, the basic one, very basic one, so that you people are not getting confused and you can understand it well. Okay. So automation. Are we clear at least? What kind of automations we have in cloud, in journal? Our knowledge has enhanced at least. Everyone.
Yes.
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 Do you think it is meaningful, these kind of automations? So in my class going forward, we are going to do all these things by these automations wherever possible. I will use shell script, Boto scripts, Python scripts, and I will explain you the logic also so that you can write your own automations. DB automations, let me see. If time permits, I will show you one DB automation script also just to execute and show you. Okay. Make sense, everyone?
Yes.
Are we clear?
Yes.
So one small thing I want to talk about, but what is the time? Okay. Okay. One more thing. If you are trying to learn any automation language, or if you are want to become go to the next level of the automation, I personally suggest try to understand about Golang also. Okay, because Golang is getting popular in the market. The more you understand about Golang, the more you will able to handle automation on Kubernetes DevOps side. Okay, so try to understand about the Golang. It is same like shell script, very easy language. You can learn. This is just a suggestion. I'm not telling you to go and learn it, but as I have mentioned in my, the automation list, I thought I will talk about Golang also. Golang is also going very popular. It is very easy, developed by Google. You can simply write some scripts and you can automate your infrastructure end to end. Okay, makes sense. But for a database engineer, I know a lot of you will be worried that I have to write code or something. If you know shell script also, it's fine. You can write your automation. Okay, in the basic level, shell script is fine. Just start with the shell script and then we will take it to the next level. Clear? Any question? In the next class, I'm not going to talk about all these things. We'll just start doing the practicals so that we will save time. Questions, concerns, allegation, doubts, anything?
Abhishek just wanted to ask general question.
Mhm,
Uh, I'm working in one of the banking environment. The
mhm,
tools what you suggest
mhm,
and all, how do we pitch it to the management to just go ahead and try using this? Will they agree? Who
mhm.
takes these decisions? Like the
See,
right approach?
let me teach you one small concept.
You're not audible if you're speaking.
I'm not audible.
Yeah, now you are.
I'm audible. Okay. So there is a small concept called effort, time, and money. Okay. So just tell me one thing. Are you are having any problem or any issue where you are consuming lot of effort, lot of time, and lot of money? Do you have any problem statement, in other words? Just I'm trying to tell you how you can pitch in basically to your management.
Yes.
So for example, every day I am wasting 2 hours to deploy database related changes. I'm doing it manually. I'm getting a lot of error. I'm fixing it. I'm redeploying it. And there are chances that these troubleshooting step might corrupt the production. Second problem statement. There are a lot of database changes. We are only 2 people and every day we get at least 10 to 15 scripts to deploy. Problem statement. I have MySQL, I have Postgre, I have Mongo, I have Oracle. Every day I get one script for Oracle, two script for MySQL, two for Postgre, four for MongoDB, and I have to deploy it. These kind of problem statement you have? Any problem statement which you want to discuss? Or any pain point? Let's suppose every day night 2 a.m. I have to wake up and do the deployment. Every
Yeah,
weekend I have to come to office and do the deployment.
yeah, basically like 2 a.m. or 4 a.m. that. Those are the challenges. Yes.
Challenges, correct. Very good. So how to fix these kind of challenges? You can simply go and take any of the tool, whatever you want to do, either using code, your own coding solution or third party tool, and you can give a POC. Never ever talk to the management without POC. That is my first rule. If you are going to talk to anyone, go with proper plan, proper statement, proper diagram, and proper POC execution. At least if someone is having any question, you can simply show your POC saying that this is what I'm thinking and how it is going to be executed. The moment people will see the POC and working model, okay, they will be, at least they can start the discussion. If you don't have POC, point of proof of concept, so what will happen? A lot of people will not understand the overall execution part or the challenges or merit part. So whenever you are trying to pitch on these particular concepts. If you tell management that I have 35 people, among of 35 people, 10 people are every day waking up in the 2 a.m. and they are doing the deployment. So basically effort, lot of effort is and time is getting wasted. Are you worried about that effort and time? They will say yes, then you can pitch this. Let's suppose you are hiring a third party engineer for your database related changes and you are paying money to him every time. Okay. So your money is getting wasted, that you can automate. Like that, you have to find your a problem statement and you have to categorize that problem statement under these three buckets. Either you're putting a lot of effort, either you're wasting a lot of time, either you're wasting lot of money, and you can pitch in. But before pitching in, try to give them the try to try to give them some gist. Basically, don't just give them a PPT or something, the document that I want to achieve this and I think this is the problem. No, take a problem statement, create a POC, show them practically that this is the Liquibase, this is my CI/CD pipeline, this is going to be executed in the night 2 a.m. These are the challenges and these are the merits, or these are the advantage, these are the disadvantage, and let management decide that. Make sense? Do you think it is going to work? Is
Yeah.
ETM model?
Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. Because, and second thing, in your environment, always try to find the scope of automation. If you start doing the automation in your environment itself, your learning will go to the next level. Trust me. And every environment has some loopholes, some option, or some opportunity where you can write the automation or you can do the automation. Okay. The typical this question has been asked multiple times, that boss, if I do if I automate everything, then what about my job, right? How many of you think like this, that if I automate everything, what will happen to my job, right?
Agree. Yes.
Agree, right? But trust me, the more you automate, the more time you will get for your family, for your own development, and trust me, your knowledge will go to the next level. And if you are keep on doing same thing every Monday, going and executing the script, uh, taking, monitoring the backup, monitoring the tools or something, it is not going to help you. Trust me, it is not going to help you. We have to think out of the box and use all these new technologies to make our life easy. Make sense? Any question?
I have one question.
Yeah, please.
Uh, do in real time or in nowadays,
Mm-hmm.
are companies running their database in a pod or a container, or still they
Correct.
are relying on a EC2 or a self-managed database so that they have a very good control, or a cloud managed database? So, when we run something in a pod or container,
Mhm.
if the container crash or pod crash, what about the data? So, what about the HA? How we get the HA in container? So, are the companies or banks or any organization, are they fully uh, relied,
Mhm.
or they trust running the database on a pod, or still they are comfortable with EC2, or they trust more on
Mhm.
EC2 or RDS or self managed instead of container?
Mhm. Okay. So basically, my answer will be based on the detail, like what kind of application they are running. Okay. First of all, very less people are running their database on containers. Hardly 1 or 2%.
Yeah, exactly.
Hardly 1 or 2%. Even I would say less than 1% people are running their databases on container, because container model is still not that mature, and we have a lot of issues when when your database size grows. We have seen that containers are not stable. Okay. And
Yes.
basically basically container kind of environment is good where your databases are very static. Okay. So what are the static databases that uh, we are talking about? Let's suppose you have price table. Price kind of
Okay.
tables are changing very less, right? Once your price is defined, it is going to be remain same for at least 10 to 15 days, right? Let's suppose you have map related information, address. People are not changing their address very frequently. People are not changing map related longitude, latitude very easily. Okay. So this, if your data need is very static, where your data changes are very less, or you are just doing the select, and your DMLs are very less, like your insert, update, and deletes are less, then container environments are very good. You can do that. Another thing, if your database size is small and your database is less complex, mean to say cardinality of your database is less, in that case container environments are good. But an application like Amazon.com, Flipkart.com, where multi-million people are logging, and they are doing a lot of operations, data is getting changed frequently. Like let's suppose your inventory get updates every second, right? Let's suppose two people are simultaneously ordering a phone, and I have only two phone available in the Flipkart marketplace, right? So dynamically I have to handle, right, inventory, how many to whom I can give my phone, right? Basically. So I have to quickly check the
Yeah.
inventory, right? And inventory tables are dynamic tables basically, right? So for that kind of application, I don't prefer that you will use Docker or container. It might get crash or
So
something.
then we have
Now
OLTP database.
OLTP database, where containers are not a very good choice now, but in future, if new technology comes, definitely containers are going to take a big role. Second thing, when you have repo kind of databases, let's suppose you're running a small IoT program or a small WhatsApp kind of program, and WhatsApp basically uses SQLite, right? Technically inside. So if you want to store a small database along with your product, then also Docker containers are meaningful, but not in the extent where a lot of queries are happening to that.
Yes.
And majority of the
Also,
databases are still running on premises and cloud.
yeah, even some of our clients, which they earlier they were on EC2 or VM, then they later switched to RDS. Then they find out they don't have fully control on the
Mhm.
settings.
Set
So now they,
the services.
yeah, so now they're all again migrating that data to on EC2 so that they have more control
Hmm.
on the database and settings.
Database settings and all. Second thing, again, it depends on the business. Let's suppose I am a startup from today. onwards, I have to start releasing my product because I got the funding. So in that time, I'm not going to go and concentrate on infrastructure building. What I will do, I will simply go to the cloud and I will build my infrastructure, start hosting my application because I got the funding and everything. Later on, once my product is successful or it is released in the market and I'm started getting money, then what I will do, I will slowly move my infrastructure from cloud to on premises. This is the another trend which is happening in the market
Yeah, yeah.
because cloud
Mostly,
infrastructure is very costly.
hmm. Also the financial, so the clients which are in banking domain or financial domain. So for some audit also, some
Hmm,
compliances they have to follow. So they can't fully compliant on a RDS or a
hmm.
Aurora because of the settings. So they
Because
now
of the settings,
insisting to,
because the data, how the data is scattered, in the which
Mm,
location data is stored, all those questions are very important for
uh,
financial sector. Yeah,
nowadays they are most focusing on the to fulfill the compliance.
compliance, because see, I'll tell you one thing: if compliance is not going to fulfill, how they can say that they are a big company? How they can say they have following a certain standard? Okay, tell me one
Hmm.
thing: why we go and eat samosa on a big restaurant or a medium restaurant, and why we are not eating on the roadside shop? The only difference is roadside shop. Even I'm getting more taste. It is very tasty. But why I'm eating it on some restaurant? Because in the restaurant, even the samosa is less tasty. It is hygienic. They have followed a lot of rules, lot of procedures, right, to bake that food. So that is the same thing goes with the institutions. Like let's suppose I need second round of funding and my funding company, my VC company says your database has to be SSLized. Then only I'm going to give you my audit requirement is your database has to be SSLized and your database has to be properly backed up, incremental backup and full backup. Reserve Bank says right this kind of thing when you do drill. So Reserve Bank also
Yeah.
gives you a lot of these kind of things that you have to